What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of The Three View. Today, we are joined by Wausau Cyclones head coach Nathan Oystrick. How's your summer been?
It's been great, and it was short and long at the same time.
Yeah, I bet. So, we'll kind of just jump right on into things. So, this year will be your fourth season in Wausau. Talk about how you've been able to grow the program over time, and what are some areas of change that you're kind of most proud of?
I don't know how much I've changed it personally myself. I think, along with our ownership group and our coaching staff, um, we've made Wausau or been able to make Wausau a little bit of a destination for players to come. We've built a really good culture and a good program. A lot of our players individually have had success over the past 3 years. We've had four commits to Division 3 schools and 10 or 12 guys moving on to ACHA Division 1 schools. And obviously that's what, players look for. They want teams that win hockey games and they want coaches that can help move them on to the next level. So, um, I think we're going in the right direction. It's just continuing to build that culture and try to help push guys to the next level.
And you just talked about it yourself that you guys have a winning culture in Wausau. After missing the playoffs your first season, you've been able to qualify for the postseason the last 2 years. How do you think you've been able to do so? And what do you think were the biggest changes that you made after year one?
I think, well, year one was, I mean, I don't want to make excuses because at the end of the day, I was a head coach, but year one was a little different. I came in 10 days before the season start and, had to jump in and learn the league and learn the players and all that sort of fun stuff. But the past couple of years, we've been able to go out and recruit and scout our own players. But I think, we really focus on the team game. We want our guys to have individual success, of course. But we try and focus on the team game and trying to teach the simple things. Hockey is a hard game, but it's also a very easy game. So our practices are geared towards a lot of team aspects. In our games, we expect our players to play for the crest on their jersey first before the name on their back, as cliche and uh, gross as that sounds. But we want to make sure that everyone's pulling the rope the same way. We want to try and win a championship. I'm a big believer that winning breeds opportunity, and when teams have success, guys get opportunities at the next level, and the more games we win, the more success we have. Hopefully that promotes players moving on to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of switching gears to off ice, you guys pack the stands in Wausau and always have, a great crowd experience. Talk about the culture that you guys have and the unique experience that players who play for the Cyclones have.
Yeah, it's the community's really come on board the past few years. Zach Surway does a great job. Obviously, all of our home games, we have giveaways, we have the corgi races, we have the wiener dog races, which are obviously huge events. But again, it goes back to the on ice product. We're having success as a team and we're winning games, and people want to come out and support us. We get the guys out in the community as much as we can so that they're seen and people know who they're cheering for. It's not always easy as a fan, as I'm sure
Mhm.
picking out players with their masks on. So just, having our fans and our billet families and parents and everyone getting to know our players has been a huge success. And it's definitely, has worked to our advantage. Our crowds get a little crazy and rambunctious, which is great. We hope it continues. We hope they keep coming out. But we've had really good success over the past couple of years at home. So hopefully we can continue that way.
And with that community support, how do you think that benefits the overall player experience? And talk about why that makes Wausau a premier destination for junior hockey players, especially knowing, that they have so many options in today's day and age.
Yeah, I mean, look, the community support is huge, and obviously we're not the only organization in our league that gets big community support, but I think it's a combination of a lot of things. We talked about it earlier, the success we've had on the ice, both as a team and for individual players. But having the community come out and support the guys, it shows prospective players that the community cares, and guys want to go play where they feel wanted and where they're going to get supported. We have a great group of billet families who have been doing this for a few years, and they know how to take care of our players. They know what our guys need, and obviously that gets around. I think, our players are our number one recruiters. We can go out and talk to all the people we want, all the players. But at the end of the day, if our players who are here now are having a good time, they're going to tell all their buddies. And if they're happy with the community and the fans and the coaching staff and the facilities, that's just a huge bonus for us going into the summer to do our recruiting.
Yeah, and as we kind of switch back, let's kind of reflect on last season. You had two players make NCAA commitments. How proud of you are those players, and what is your message to them, knowing that you've been through that process yourself?
Yeah, it's super, super proud. Thomas Guerin came in late in the season after a trade. I knew Thomas a little bit. He's a Wausau kid. So getting to watch him grow up and now get this opportunity has been fantastic. Landon Bechtold, all the guys. I always talk about with our team at the start of the year. I will be as proud of the guy that goes D3 or D1 or makes it to the NHL as I am of the guy that ends up being the mayor of their town or a teacher or whatever it might be. I am extremely proud of all of our guys that go through our program, whether they play 1 year or 3 years. I think, one of the things we do really well as a staff and as an ownership group in Wausau is we really support and care about our players. We show them that support. We show them that we care about them as human beings, not just as hockey players. So, those guys moving on, it's a great opportunity. And I just tell them just the same thing I've been telling them for a year, or in Thomas's case, I guess a month and a half. But just keep doing the little things. You go to the next level, the game gets harder and it's harder to score. So if you aren't scoring goals, what are you doing to stay in the lineup? Can you be trusted to win a faceoff? Can you play on the penalty kill? All those little things. So hopefully they take that advice and move on. It was great. We got to see Gabe Randell today, who was our captain a couple of years. Gabe's moving on to Stevens Point. So, having those relationships and continuing those relationships throughout their college careers is very important to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when we talk about players who will be returning to your roster, you mentioned Tanner Bonjour will be returning, your goaltender, who is also at the Top Prospects tournament. How excited are you to have him back? And what kind of presence does he bring to the locker room? And how can he kind of help you continue the culture that you've already built?
Yeah, Tanner's obviously been fantastic for us. We've had some extremely good luck with goaltending in my, coming on fourth year now. But having Tanner back there to solidify, having Brady Fail back, who's another third-year player for us, it goes a long way. Obviously goaltending is a huge part of hockey, and when guys feel like they can make a mistake, and Tanner or Brady or Brody, who's our new goalie, one of our new goalies this year, when the guys have confidence that they're going to make that save, it's huge for everyone's psyche. But Tanner and Brady Knutson and Davis Polifka, Brady Ernst, Mario Savino, they've all been around, and there's a bunch of guys that I'm not naming, but we have 11 returners this year, and having that big of a group is huge for our culture. They understand what we want from them as coaches. They understand what we want them, to pass along to the young players and how to build that culture. So it's huge for us, and we're hoping, having all these guys back leads to a successful season and hopefully another run at the Fraser Cup.
And when you're looking at players recruiting wise, what are some characteristics that you're looking for both on and off the ice that you want in these new players that will kind of continue what you're trying to build?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, everyone wants good hockey players, right? Like that's the one thing we go recruit. The NA3 isn't always everyone's first choice. And, everyone wants to play in the NUL and the USHL or wherever they can. But we try to let the players know that we're here as a backup if they're interested. And we try to go out recruit good players. More importantly, we try to find really good people. You asked earlier about something that we're proud of as an organization. I think we do a really good job of doing background checks and doing our homework on the players we're bringing in. We talk to their high school coaches. We set up Zoom calls. We talk to people that know them, because we want to bring the right kids in that fit our culture, both on and off the ice. So, obviously, as I said, really good hockey players would be great. More importantly, really good people.
And to wrap up this interview, the season is just a few short weeks away. What is your biggest goal with this new upcoming group for the year?
Just to keep pushing, keep learning. Obviously a Fraser Cup would be great. We all coach hockey, play hockey to win. That's the ultimate goal. But I want our guys to come out and compete and have fun, and work as a team. Like I've been around this game for quite a long time, and in my experience, the teams with the best culture are usually the ones that win. So just continuing to build on that culture and push our guys, both as a team and then as individuals.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for hopping on this call today and good luck this season.
Thanks, Brett.